Namaste everyone. Welcome back to Rendezvous with Ritesh for season 1 on forgiveness, episode number 3, which is about the 7 steps to prepare for forgiveness. Alright, so when a small boy was asked what is forgiveness, he said, "It is that wonderful fruit that a tree gives when it is hurt by a stone." So nature is a wonderful teacher if only we had the capacity to spend more time with nature and reflect on how it operates in this world. So for the 7 steps to prepare for forgiveness, the first episode we spoke about what is forgiveness and why is it so important, and how do we prepare now for that space to create an effort of forgiveness. So the first step is to acknowledge that you are hurt. Acknowledge that you've been troubled or saddened or suffered or pained by whatever happened. Do not be in a state of denial. It's quite natural to get hurt as a human being. It's perfectly all right. But the society, it feels that it's not right to be revengeful or be angry at someone. So we tend to feel uncomfortable with that feeling which is not accepted by society. So we end up denying that we feel guilty or uncomfortable, and we just dismiss it as if it's not existing at all. But the fact is, if you keep doing that, it only gets bigger and bigger, and the poison just gets stronger and keeps growing inside. So acknowledge the hurt. First you accept it, then you will work on it. If you do not accept it, you will never work on it. Alright. The second step is to consider how the hurt and pain has affected you. So the best way you can do is actually write it down in your journal or your book. What exactly happened? What are the kind of feelings, thoughts, emotions, behaviors, patterns that surfaced during that incident or that situation? So it's a beautiful example of a coffee mug, right? You have coffee in your hand and you're holding your drink, and you're talking to someone, and suddenly someone comes and bumps against you on your elbow. What is going to fill from the cup? Coffee, right? Not tea, not milk. Whatever is in your cup will be the one that is spilled out by a trigger from outside. So whatever surfaced for you is exactly what is within you. And that is exactly what we need to work on. So once you separate the pain and the hurt from you, when you write it down, you can see it differently from you. It is not you, it is something away from you which can be worked on. Alright. Third step is to accept it. Accept that this has happened. Glad acceptance. Also accept that it's the past. The past is like a fangless serpent or a toothless tiger. It gets value only by what we give it. It has no energy of its own because it's already over, done and dusted. But we go on recreating that scene every time and give energy to it. So make sure that we learn the lessons and move on. Like Nike says, just do it. I say just drop it. Alright. So let that move away from you so that it doesn't affect you. Also understand that you will be able to accept it when you are in gratitude, because what poured out of your coffee mug or what are the emotions that surfaced was thanks to the trigger from outside, right? So be thankful to the person who allowed the dormant negative emotions to surface out. And once you're thankful, it becomes easier for you to accept the situation and forgive the person. So when you go to step 4, determine the priority that you want to make things happen. Be realistic. It's not easy to forgive. right? Sometimes it gets really difficult. The moment you think about that person or the situation, you become anxious, you start sweating, you may get angry, you get into a spiral of that thought and it goes on repeating itself. So we need to move away from that situation, right? So how do we do that? Okay, so best way is to, once you've accepted it, put it down. Things, people, or situations which you are can easily forgive, you can create that priority. One list which you is troubling you very much in ascending order or descending order, and one list which is uh, easy to forgive. So one is which is troubling you too much, one is which is easy to forgive. Okay, so then you merge the two and see how you can prioritize the entire groupings into one. So then you will have something which is easy to forgive as well as painful on the top, so that the maximum effect you get out of it. Okay. The fifth step is to repair and restructure and reconstruct. To make forgiveness effective, one needs to be in a state of calmness, tranquility. There are various techniques which I'll share in the future on how you can go to that space, go to that uh, calmness from where you can forgive a person. In a state of agitation or anxiousness, one cannot do forgiveness. It will not affect the other person or yourself. Alright? So, very important to be in the right frame of mind when you go into doing your forgiveness ritual. And for that, the next step is to learn. Learn what? Learn the art of forgiveness. How you connect with the person through energy, how you create that love within your heart, the abundance and compassion of being able to forgive and forget. Not forget the lessons, but forgive and move on with life and release the bondage and the uh, emotional baggage that you're carrying. All right. The art of forgiveness, we will teach you in the future sessions. And the next step, last but not the least, step number 7 is to finally forgive. So once you learn, once you create the situation, create the environment, do the ritual, practice it, feel the connection, and actually forgive and forget, drop it once it's gone, cut the cords forever. When you start forgiving, it kind of burns the negative bridge that is there between you and the person. All right, you start to elevate, you start to rise in your frequency. Take the ones you can forgive easily first, see the result, enjoy the result, feel the lightness, and let that inspire you to take on the more challenging, deep rooted ones which you are struggling with. Alright? So prepare yourself first before you get into the actual act of forgiveness so that it becomes absolutely effective for you. So these are the 7 steps to prepare for true forgiveness, how you can prepare yourself. Next time we will come up with the practice of forgiveness, how you can do, what are the various techniques, and what are the kinds of forgiveness and all that. Okay, so thank you so much for being such a patient listener. I hope I'm able to connect with each and every one of you. Thank you so much for listening. Please subscribe, follow, and share, and we will see you soon. Thank you so much. God bless you all. Be safe, stay safe, and keep forgiving.